If you had to order a good chocolate cake from any local bakery, you'd have to pay anywhere between this price. We're gonna make it at this price. Welcome to Make Unders, where being cheap has never been better, where food has never been cheaper, where being cheap is the way to go. How was that? This is a completely new segment called Make Unders. Now this segment is not about cheap cooking per se, it's about thrifty cooking. We're actually going to create a reasonably good product at a much lower price, after which hopefully you'd realize you're overpaying for a lot of the stuff you get from outside, and with a little bit of effort, you can make for much less at home. Now getting down to chocolate cake, I expect you to have all the ingredients as we speak. This is a very simple cake yet delicious, so with all that said, let's begin. This cake batter has to be the easiest to make. You're first going to weigh out your dry ingredients. In a large bowl, you're going to take 2 cups of plain flour, 2 cups of caster sugar, 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of coffee powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Give it a whisk and set aside. For your wet ingredients, in a bowl you're going to take 2 whole eggs, 1 cup of buttermilk, and 1/2 cup of oil. Give it a whisk and pour your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients. Mix until you have a thick and smooth batter. Then you're going to bring 1 cup of water to a boil and you're going to pour into your batter, whisking as you go until you have a smooth mixture. Pour into your prepared cake mold 3/4 of the way. Bake at 170 degrees Celsius for 35 to 40 minutes until cooked through, and the knife pierced in should come out completely clean. Let it rest until cooled down completely. For the syrup, you're going to take 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 cup of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of coffee powder. Bring to a boil until the sugar is melted. Transfer to a bowl and let it cool for later. For the ganache, you're going to bring 1 cup of fresh cream to a light simmer, and then you're going to pour that onto 250 grams of roughly chopped chocolate. Continue to mix until you have a smooth chocolate mixture. Once the temperature drops to room temperature, maybe about 10 minutes, we're going to incorporate 150 grams of softened cream cheese and 50 grams of icing sugar. Pour your cooled ganache over the cream cheese mixture. Mix thoroughly, ensuring there are no lumps, and that's your ganache. To assemble the cake, you're going to first remove the top wrinkly bit of the sponge. Then you're going to attempt to slice it horizontally into 2 equal halves. Now you're going to place 1/2 of the sponge at the bottom. Brush the sponge with half the syrup and add 1/3 of your frosting. Spread evenly. Repeat the same process with the second half of the sponge. Brush half the syrup and spread 1/3 of your frosting. Go ahead and spread the rest of your frosting along the sides of the cake. You will have some leftover frosting. Know that you cannot waste it because your mother's watching. So go ahead and pipe the rest on top of your cake. Place the cake in the fridge to firm up for half an hour. You can roughly crumble any leftover cake and bake in the oven at 150 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes, and you'll end up with these biscuity cake crumbs that can be sprinkled on top of your finished cake. This entire cake should come to a total cost of, which gives you 8 generous slices, making each a price off. Alright guys, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You know the drill. If you learned something, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.